Hello and welcome back to Italia. It's a really nice view of our farm from down here. Looks pretty good. Right, so it's the same in-game day as in my last episode, so just finished off obviously the little bits that I left on field 25 especially. I finished off going around the first row that he missed out, so that's all planted, all done. Finished off the lime in field 48, so again that's all done. And what I'm going to be planning on doing in this episode is I'm going to try and do something with this field that I'm standing in, which is the big grass field, the biggest field that I actually own. It's 16.96, so let's say 17 acres, whereas field 48 is 15, which is strange because it looks somewhat bigger, but overall it's not. So this is by far the biggest field that we own. Do you know what? It could actually be 17. Together they're 30. No, it's definitely not the biggest field. That's 25. That's massive. So, yeah, it's definitely not the biggest field. It is big, though, and as you can tell, obviously it goes all the way up there to the road. And it's vast. So, the first thing I want to say is I just want to thank everyone that keeps putting comments on the videos for Italia. I've had so many good comments, and I've also had so many good suggestions. And this episode is basically from two great suggestions that I got of what to do with this field and how probably to improve it because of the fact it's got no number. So we can't really tell if it's being fertilised or if it needs anything. So we're going to try and do something today which hopefully improves it for us. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with precision farming. This is going to be something brand new for me to try with precision farming. I really don't know how it's going to turn out, but hopefully we can at least get some information from precision farming for this field by the end of it. I don't think we'll get the yield, you know, like when we click on the fields like that, we can get yield information, stuff like that. I don't think we're going to be able to do that because you just can't click it at all. Even though in this one, in the when you're buying the field, so on the first option here for the map, you can click it there. So yeah, it is a bit strange, but in precision farming you can't click it at all, so I don't think we'll get yield information, stuff like that, but I'm hoping to get fertilising, I'm hoping to get soil type, something like that would be cool. Yeah, the train goes by. We'll stand here. Seriously goes at some speed. I wonder when it opens up. There you go. Right, so what we're going to be basically doing is I'm going to generate my own field number. I'm going to probably call it something like S1 for Scroft 1. I think that's a good number for me to remember. And I'm going to go around with probably the Lambo. Maybe the Lambo. One of the tractors anyway. We're going to go around the edge, create our own edge using Courseplay, and then from that we'll save it. And then we'll generate a course to go around and plough it. So probably be doing that with the Lambo because it's the most powerful tractor I have, and obviously it's set up with the plough. And as it's ploughing as well, we're going to go and plant some clover in there. I think clover is going to be perfect for this field. Good thing about clover as well, it will show up straight away as growth rates. So normally grass you have to like check. If I go down here and click grass, then you'll see it pop up, as you see, dark green. And then if I now go into this, you'll see that it's basically ready to harvest. It's not fully grown, but it's ready to harvest. That'll change to this kind of growth. Good thing about clover is it's like a crop type, so you see a little bit more. But the only thing we probably need to look out for is the precision farming side, like I said. But we'll figure it out as we go. It's a learning curve, definitely a learning curve for me. First time I've ever tried to do this. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. I'm going to make our own clover field, give it a proper number. I also want to set up AutoDrive first as for the entrance here, because I haven't fully done that. And then what I'm going to do after that is we're going to use, don't know which tractor yet, but we'll use one of them and we'll do some lime. But the good thing about lime is we can do another appended course into the biogas place, because just by where them train carts are, there is 3 actual sell points where we can buy solid fertilizer, lime and seeds. So we can set up a Courseplay appended one for that field. It automatically goes under, I think it's this first one here. It is, yeah, lime, and then that one's solid fert, and then there's your seeds. So we can set up something. It's going to cost us obviously as we take it, but it's a big field anyway, so it's probably going to take a bit, and we're just going to have to spend the money. Whoa, they got hit by a train. As you do. So yeah, that's my plan anyway. I think it's going to be interesting if it all comes off and it works out, and we can actually see a bit more information with precision farming on it. If I don't see the precision farming side, it's not an issue. It really isn't. At least we've got a boundary for us to work in, and we can use Courseplay a little bit more. So the first thing I want to do is I want to go over to my same tractor. There we go. And I've got the crop sensor onto this. Clover, they're the clover seeds that I've bought. I've already filled up. So what we want to do is first set the AutoDrive up for this field, so we can always send it to the field, send in a piece of kit or whatever. Now, oops, I don't know why I did that. Yeah. Anyway, so we want to send it. Now, normally I'd like to have a trailer on as I'm doing this, but we're gonna imagine we've got a trailer on, because it's technically only going to be one entrance we'll do now. We could do some more. I could do all four. In fact, I will do that just to show you what I actually do. So what I'll do is I'll do it properly. I'll set up with the trailer, and I'll show you exactly what I would normally do. And it's going to be a little bit different because I've got this crop sensor on the front, which is going to make it even more of a wider angle than normal, which hopefully should mean that if I've got a front weight on a tractor, I shouldn't have an issue. Right, so because we're coming from this way now, I will start off with this direction. So what I'd like to do is I usually obviously give myself enough room to do the turn that I need to do. That's a good starting point for this, so I'm going to press record. As you can see, it's automatically pinned me to that first waypoint, which was there, which is what the red line was showing me. So what I'm going to do now is just drive this like I would if I was obviously pulling into this with a trailer on the back and this crop sensor on. And then we're probably going to want to do some form of loop. So if I now think that's fine, so what we need to do is call this something, so we'll call it field, even though it looks like FS, maybe not, yeah, do you know what, I'll call it field 48, why not? FS1 just reminds me of Farming Simulator, so field 48 is a good one, we'll call it field 48. Okay, so now what we need to do is just carry on. Do a good size loop, because thinking of anything equipment wise that you might have, and then we're going to go out the same direction, but I'm obviously going to do a nice turn just because of the fact that I might have something on the back even bigger than this, like a big trailer. And then I'm going to stop recording, and I'm just going to click this one, so that's my last point. We need to connect it to that, and that's that done. So now what we need to do is quickly just do the exact same again, but coming from the other direction. And that's it, it's all done. So we've set that field up for AutoDrive. It's got all the entrances and exit points, not a problem at all. So what I'll quickly just do now is, I haven't got traffic on, I have turned traffic on because I obviously got 3 tractors on the go here, and I knew I'd be doing quite a bit on this road. Is I'm just going to park up the lime spreader there. We can turn off editing, get rid of that now, and then what we want to do is create our Courseplay border as best we can. And to do that, we obviously bring up the Courseplay, and we just need to start recording. Simple as that. Start recording, and we want to drive around the outside of the map the best we can, thinking about the width of our equipment. If we got like a big cultivator, you don't want to go too far on the edge because you might hit some of these trees. You want to try and be as accurate as you can. If you miss little bits, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're getting the majority of this. So because there's a tree there, I'll probably go a little bit wider. We just need to pretty much just drive all the way around, and we can probably get a good idea now of how big the field is by doing this. There's going to be some challenging parts as well. There's an uphill part that will be coming downhill on the other side. Even though this is obviously quite a bit uphill, it seems like the other side's a little bit more tricky. So it might be better to go anti-clockwise on this field. So obviously this is a good point here. Not much you can hit there. Wow, there's a massive, it seems like a massive ditch there that we'll have to be careful with. There's obviously a big downhill bit now. So it is a good sized field. We've checking this border out, it is a big field. We'll get a lot of grass work off this. More than we need anyway, but obviously good, yeah, it's good to sell. So then we want to pretty much just try and get as close as we can. That should do, and then I'm going to put a stop in. And then we're going to save this as so we're going to call this field 49, not field 48, and we're going to call it boundary is probably the best one for it. I mean, you could call it edge or border, but we'll call it boundary, and then we're going to save it. So then when we go into manage courses, we've still got a few from field 48 which I completely forgot about. So we can delete the fill because we're probably not going to use that again. We'll keep the lime because you never know, we might need to spread lime again in that field, and we've already got the course set up. And then what we want to do is with Courseplay, not AutoDrive, with Courseplay open, we need to open field 49 boundary, and then we need to go to field work and course generation, and still got that one in there. That's a bit strange, isn't it? Let's try that again. Just field 49 boundary. Course generation. There we go, that's better. So as you can see, this is the boundary of the field. All we need to make sure it says here under field edge path, we need it to say currently loaded course, and when it does, you can obviously set your headlands. So we're going to do a few headlands, we'll probably do 5. I'm going to up the overlap because it is a plough and I find it misses a lot. So if we just go 20 now, I definitely know that is not our working width. So I'm not sure why it thinks we've got that. It's probably because of the crop sensor on the front. So let's quickly just go into our equipment. It's a 3 meter plough, and let's just have a look at the crop sensor just to see out of curiosity if that was 18 meters. Yes, it is. So that's the reason it's showing me that. So let's go back into course generation and let's set this down to 3 meters. So we set it all up. First thing I want to do is I'm going to change it to counterclockwise because I do think it's going to be easier to go this way round and come downhill there instead of up. And then we just generate the course. And as you can see, it is going to take a while, but it's the way to do it. Unless we get a really big tractor and do it with a bigger plough. Right, so everything seems to be fine. I think we should just set it going now. Make sure it's at first waypoint, the thing that I didn't do last time. Alright, so now he should crack on with it. Now, my only issue is I'm going to stop him. I'll stop him and carry him on, but we need to make sure that that's closed for the first 2 rows at least, just because of the size of them hitting them trees. We don't want him to hit anything. So if we just go current waypoint, hopefully he's not missed anything there. Seems to be fine. So what you'll find now is it's saying ploughed. We're getting a bit of information. So obviously this is going to take a while for that driver to do. It really is. But what we could do, it's going to take him 2 hours and 17 minutes. Only a short time. Yeah, so obviously this is going to be something that I probably cut back into so you can see the full shabam of this. I want it all to be in one episode. But in the meantime, I think what I'll do is I'll quickly just set up the appended course. Right, so now we're in the field. This is a good point. It can hit all 4 corners over here, especially at that top end there. So all we need to do is just start recording, and this is going to be our refill course for this field. Job done. That's it. So now we should have it in our saved courses, as we do, so we can append that into a course if it needed it. But obviously right now we're pretty much just going to be playing the waiting game for a bit. So what I'll do is I'll cut back in when he's done all the ploughing and the field is fully done, and we'll set the guy going in the seeder. Right, so as you can see, a lot has changed. Been really busy. Basically what happened was it was taking quite a while for the ploughing, so what I did was I leased out a massive tractor, a Fendt tractor that I'll show you in a second, and I also leased out a 5.2 metre plough, and I basically did it myself. It took me about 2 hours in total as well with the lime spreading. Now I didn't need to refill the lime at all, but I decided just to do it myself. It was going to be too long to put it in a time lapse, so I decided to cut this bit out. And then what I'll do is with the planter that I've leased out as well, I'll do a little time lapse at the end just to finish off the clover field. But it's going pretty well. In fact, it's going better than I expected originally. So like I said, the whole field's been ploughed. I've spread all the lime. Now if we quickly just have a look at precision farming, you can see that I've got all the information: yield, soil type, pH, nitrogen. But not just that, I can actually click the field, which I didn't expect to do. So I can click the field and get all the information in the kind of statistics box that comes up with all the values. So you can see the profit that I get, everything, which I didn't expect. So that's a bonus. So it is actually working a treat. But yeah, it was just too big of a job to do in a whole episode. And I didn't want to obviously extend it out over too many episodes. So yeah, I definitely wanted to get it done. So what I'll do now is I'll actually return the spreader, even though it had 700 litres in of lime, it didn't really matter. And then I'll send this back to probably where I park the equipment. That'll be perfectly fine. And then we'll carry on with this bit. So this is the tractor I leased out. That's why my money's gone down. It's gone down quite a bit, probably 15,000, maybe a little bit more. But it's okay. It's still early days. I can always claw that back. And it's nice to use some pretty powerful equipment. So the last, obviously, finishing bit of this will be to get the planting done. So we may as well start this off now. And hopefully, if this works right, we'll be able to see some more information, especially about the nitrogen levels, which shouldn't go up, in fact, thinking about it, because I think nitrogen for clover is quite low. I'd have to double check that, but I think it's around 40 to 60, so we're already pretty low. So as you can see, it's just applying every now and again 20 kilograms per hectare, which is about right. So the good thing about this field, we won't need to do any work to it really as soon as we get this in the ground. But it's a massive job. I've missed a bit there. Yeah, it is a big job, but it's worth it in the end, because now I've got two grass fields technically, even though one's clover, but you know what I mean. Two grass fields where they're numbered up. There we go. And we've got to use a really good tractor. This fence really powerful. It's about 400 and something brake horsepower, maybe a bit more actually. So it's kind of minced through it. It makes me realise how big this field is. It shouldn't be too bad when we're mowing and doing bales and stuff like that, because yeah, it's a lot less demanding on tractor power. Okay, so I'll put it on a time lapse now so you can see me finish off the field, and then hopefully when it's done it'll look pretty good, and we'll have a massive clover field to go with our other massive grass field, and then pretty much everything's done. After that we'll just be playing the waiting game, probably do a bit of fertilising, looking after the animals, but it'll be probably a big waiting game then for all the crop types to come in.
You want to, please don't be polite, cause I like your attitude. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, both speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it. Don't stop now, never let this end. For the thrill of it, we can have it, no regret. Let's live life without regrets. Girl, put your faith in me, even though we just met. Let's forget about a curfew, cause all that is stuck in my head. It's me and you, both speed and my heart is racing, but I'm not sure I wanna face it, cause it only does this with you. Our bodies meet, I can feel the tension, move us into the next dimension. Let's just let our bodies be true. We make out for the thrill of it, mess around for the thrill of it.
Okay, so I'm about halfway through this field. It's going pretty well so far. I'm using GPS. It just takes its time. It is a big field. And you can probably tell now why it took so long when I was using the 3-meter plough. It was just, yeah, just took ages. Because it is a good sized field, and when it is all finished and we've got this full of clover, it's going to be really profitable. Depends what we do with it in the end, but if we decide to sell it, you know, the majority of the clover, we should get quite a bit of money. Right, so I'll finish off the field and then I'll probably cut back in now when it's morning time, so there's a bit more daylight and it's all finished so we can see how it looks. Okay, so there we go. We've now fully converted this grass field that had no number into what I'm calling field 49, and it's turned out really well. It was a big job, definitely a big job. We had to obviously plough the whole field, and then you need to technically just prep it, lime, whatever you want to do if you're using precision farming, and then finish it off by planting the type, which we've gone for clover. So as you can tell, it's now next morning. And if I just quickly bring up this measurement tool and check it, you can see that it's definitely growing. It says weed because obviously Seasons doesn't know what clover is. But yeah, it's growing. So yeah, it's turned out pretty well. Big job though. Definitely worth it in the end. But I'm going to leave the video there, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That really does help my channel out. And also, if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this one on Farming Simulator. See ya.